All right, we're live right now. So I'm sorry about the delay. Polls are about to close in Illinois. Polls have already closed in Ohio. And we got some results right now. 10% of the vote in here in Ohio. Bernie Moreno and Matt Dolan are in a tight race for first. Frank LaRose is in third. And Matt Dolan is not looking good in the early results here, as Moreno has taken the early lead here. And other results coming in Illinois. Illinois is going to come in very soon. We have some big House races in Illinois and Florida. We have right now. Let's go over to Florida right now. 85% of the vote already in. Donald J. Trump, the nominee for the Republicans, is getting 80%. Nikki Haley's getting 14%. In Arizona today, we also have presidential primaries in Arizona. We'll keep you guys updated on what the actual results from how well Haley would be doing there. And in Kansas, again, we got presidential results in Kansas coming in. And again, we'll update you guys on where the race will stand there soon. But our main focus is Matt Dolan just took the lead in Ohio. Hamilton County just came in, and it is Dolan in the lead. Dolan is in the lead. Again, Dolan's in the lead. Welcome to the stream. What? So we're live right now. So welcome everyone to the live stream. Oh, and here's Dante. So we're live here in Ohio. So right now in Cincinnati and Columbus is our big vote getters right now. Dolan's leading there, but the rest of the state he's doing terribly in. So what is going on for Dolan so far?
Well, right now we're just looking at absentee votes. I don't think there's any early election.
And there is Moreno back in the lead. So Dante, what is going on with this? What's Matt Dolan doing wrong right now?
Well, he's struggling in the early votes, which is where we'd expect him to do better. The expectation is that Bernie Moreno would gain a lot of strength in the election day votes. So for Moreno to be doing this well without a bunch of election day votes in is really significant.
Hold on, folks. Yeah, Dante. Yeah, he spoke, but Yeah, Dante spoke on the stream, but I couldn't. I can't hear. My headphones broke, so I'll be right back, guys. All right, so Dante, what is our other races we're going to be launching today?
Well, looking at the other races in Ohio, we're looking at a few Republican primaries. First of all, the Republican primary in the 9th District to challenge Macy Captor, where you've got former state rep Craig Rydell and state representative Derek Marin. The frontrunner for a while was Air Force veteran J.R. Majewski, who ran in 2022, but he dropped out a couple of weeks ago, throwing this race pretty much into chaos late before the date. It's still a pretty close race looking at it right now. Marin leads by 5. Marin has the support of Speaker Mike Johnson, while Rydell has lost a lot of support because of an audio leak that came out where he criticized Trump and said he wouldn't vote for him in 2024. Ohio 9 is a seat that Trump won, but Macy Captor won re-election there pretty easily in 2022. Secondly, we're looking at the primary in Ohio 13 to take on Amelia Sykes between former state senator Kevin Coughlin and Hudson City Councilor Chris Banweg. This is expected to be a pretty competitive race in November in a district Biden won very narrowly in 2020.
And what's our results for Illinois?
Well, now that polls have closed there, we're mostly looking at some incumbent primary challenges in Illinois. Firstly, I'll mention Illinois 7, where Danny Davis faces a couple challengers, including one from his left and community organizer Keena Collins. He's also facing a challenge from Chicago City Treasurer Melissa Conyers-Irvin. Now, Collins ran against Davis here in 2022 and came within 7 points of ousting him, but this time the opposition could be split between her and Conyers-Irvin, so that'll be interesting to watch. We're also closely looking at the Republican primary in the 12th district, where Mike Bost faces a challenge from a former state senator Darren Bailey, who ran for governor in 2022 as the Trump candidate. While Bailey was trying to challenge Bost from the right, Mike Bost was recently endorsed by former President Trump, so that has taken some of the wind out of the sails of the bid for Darren Bailey.
And is there any races for the what's that? How about the 17th for to challenge Swartzen?
Oh yeah, and really the only and probably the closest swing seat in Illinois coming up in the November, Illinois 17, a marginal Biden district. There is retired Judge Joe McGraw and former Union President Scott Crow in the Republican primary. This is a marginal Biden district that should be the swingiest district in November in Illinois.
All right, so we have our congressional primaries going on. So let's continue with the Ohio results. Bernie Moreno opening up a little bit of a lead here over Matt Dolan. So again, Dolan has not had really good early turnout for him in Columbus and Cincinnati. So that will boost Moreno. But so what does Dolan really need to do in the later returns to win this race?
Well, he kind of needs to hope that that we're completely wrong about the election day vote, because I mean, if Moreno's in the lead after after what is mostly early vote, he is probably going to win this by a decent margin, quite frankly. Now, of course, we still don't have early votes from Cuyahoga, where Cleveland is, and a couple of the suburbs, Summit, where Akron is. But needless to say, these can't be viewed as great results for Dolan when he was supposed to have much more strength in the early vote. And I can speak kind of anecdotally. In 2022, there was a decent amount of crossover vote from Democrats who voted in the Republican primary for Dolan instead of J.D. Vance or Josh Mandel. There have been not many reports of that happening this year, which means that Dolan might be kind of suffering as a result. But that's why you'd expect him to do much better in early vote.
All right, so we're going to move over to District 9, Ohio. This is to challenge Marcy Kaptur. This is looking pretty good for Marin. He leads in Toledo and in the suburbs of Toledo. So, what is Rydell's strongest suit, and what will be Marin's strongest suit?
Well, after Marjowisky dropped out of the race, Craig Rydell, who served in the state house for a number of years in the past, was considered the kind of immediate front runner. But after that audio came out, he lost endorsements from people like from several key Trump, including like Elise Stefanik and other key Trump supporters. And State Representative Derek Marin entered the race basically a day before the filing deadline. So Marin, as a result, he's backed by Speaker Mike Johnson, but he is in a deep financial hole to Rydell, which has kept this race unsettled. Rydell also does continue to maintain support from people like Tom Emmer and Steve Scalise, so it hasn't been a total drop of support for him. And despite his criticism of Trump, Trump is actually not engaged in this race, so he hasn't endorsed Marin or anything. But certainly the early results look good for Derek Marin here.
And that continues as Rydell gained some votes here as Ottawa County just came in. So Ohio 13, this is our initial results, and it's looking Coughlin is looking pretty solid here.
Yeah, I mean it's super early, but yeah.
We should be starting to get results from Illinois very soon.
In the meantime, I'll highlight a couple other Ohio races if that's okay.
All right.
A couple safe Republican primaries with retiring incumbents. We'll start with Ohio's 2nd Congressional District. Oh my goodness, that's a colorful map. Pull that one up. Look at that map. That's nice.
That map is looking very good.
Wow.
This map is looking very good. We have. This is the map of.
That's a different
It looks
candidate
like.
winning district.
So over here, this is looks like Marino's uh safe area is. This is a very tight race.
Yeah, but I expect Moreno to pull away if these are the early vote results. Let me check and see if any election days come in. Check out Ohio's 2nd though. That's very close.
Ohio 2nd District. This is an open seat, by the way.
This is a crazy map.
Oh, that is beautiful.
So I'll talk a bit about this race because I did write about it. This is a safe Republican seat. Rep. Brad Wenstrup is retiring. 11 Republicans in the race, as you can see. There's some unpredictability. Several candidates have raised a lot of money. This includes David Taylor, who's currently in the lead by just a few votes. A concrete business owner. He's poured a lot of money into his bid. And second is Larry Kidd, who is another big self-funder. He owns a hiring agency. And then Dunkin' Donuts and La Rosa's Pizzeria franchisee Tim O'Hara, once again, pouring a lot of money into his bid, is in a very narrow third. So it seems to be a pretty close three-way race between these two. In my write-up, I also shouted out State Senator Niraj Atani, who has raised a decent amount of money but doesn't actually live in the district, and State Senator Shane Wilkin, who lives in the district but has not raised a lot of money. But right now, Wilkin is sitting at around 9% of the vote, and Atani is sitting around 2%. So they're not really factors. It seems to be a three-way race.
And on there, Ron Hood, I don't know who he is.
Yeah, I didn't write about him.
So, do you know who he is and what
No,
is?
not clear. He's carrying a couple of counties, though.
Yeah.
I mentioned the three guys who raised a bunch of money and the two people who actually were in elected office. But all three of these frontrunners are very rich men. And, well, who just gained a bunch of votes? It looks like Hood and Wilkin just gained.
Hood and Wilkin are in. There's 5 candidates over 10%, 22 over 20. So
Atani is doing very poorly, which I guess is not shocking because, again, he doesn't live in this district. But the amount of he did raise.
Oh, and Dolan has retaken the lead in Ohio Senate race. It is Cuyahoga just came in.
That would make sense, yeah.
Oh, bad news for Dolan. He is losing right now by 8 points in Summit County. That's Akron.
I still don't think we've gotten any any election day votes.
So what's going on with the 6th district of Ohio?
Oh yeah, this is this is technically 2 elections. This is former Representative Bill Johnson resigned back in January. This is a safe red seat. He resigned back in January to become the president of Youngstown State University. So there is an election taking place there's a primary taking place for the election in November, and there is a primary taking place for the special election, which is currently set for June. Let me check, but I anticipate that these are going to be about the same results. And yeah, they're basically identical. So in the race, we have State Senator Michael Ruley and State Representative Reggie Stoltzfus. Ruley is considered the more moderate candidate, and Stoltzfus is considered the kind of more extreme right-wing candidate. Stoltzfus is also dealing with an alleged trespassing scandal where he tried to shoot and maybe even kill some teenagers who were trespassing. He says he shot at the ground. The teenagers say he shot to do bodily harm. It's maybe not the biggest scandal for a Republican primary, but it certainly has been an issue in the race, although he does have a big-time financial advantage. But Michael Ruley, who's currently in the lead, represents way more of this district in his state Senate district than Stoltzfus does in his. So,
Right.
it's possible we get a different result in the 2 primaries, but as of right now, they're tracking pretty much identically to each other. Yeah, they're basically identical. Whoever wins this primary will be elected in June, and they will be the representative of the seat for as long as they desire, because this is as Republican as it gets.
All right. So those are other congressional races that we're watching in Ohio. Again, our districts that we are watching in Illinois is the 7th district. We are also watching the 12th district. And we just got results from the 12th district of Illinois, which is right now, it is Mike Boost leading in the early vote.
Big margin. I won't pretend to know the geography of this district or where Bailey is expected to do better, but certainly a very strong margin. Okay, so we're starting to get some E-Day results in Ohio.
All right, so the Senate. This is Dolan is leading by 61 votes. This is and there's Moreno taking the lead by about 350 votes.
Frank LaRose is getting a little bit more than I expected him to, which could hurt Dolan. Well, actually, I don't know. It's hard. Frank LaRose. It's hard to kind of tell where his primary, who he's taking votes from.
By the way, even though the presidential race is over, Nikki Haley's getting about 20% of the vote here in Ohio, which could net. I don't think it'll net her delegates, but it could. But again,
Ohio might be. I don't think. No, Ohio's winner take all.
Oh,
It'll all be Trump. I feel like one of these counties that she's winning has a reporting error, though, because it has Vivek in second. And I know that Vivek is from Ohio, but that still doesn't seem right. And then the Democratic primary, it has Dean Phillips winning that county. So I'm just going to say Shelby is reporting wrong, but I don't know what's going on in Holmes.
all right. So we got.
For the record, I would also point out that in Florida, she's gotten around 14% of the vote, which is a bit better than I think you'd expect her to do.
We're back in the second district. This is a colorful map, but it's a very comfortable lead for David Taylor.
Oh, some more results must have came in. Yeah, it looks like Claremont came in hard for him. He's got 52% there.
Again, Kidd is getting. I think this is just like favorite son counties that's what Wrong Hood and Wilkin is getting. And Wilkin has just come into fourth place here. All right, in the 9th district, we are watching Derek Marin. He is gaining a little bit of votes. If I'm Marcy Capture, who would I really want to face off against in November?
Well, it's difficult to exactly tell. Obviously, your pick would have been J.R. Marjawisky. Between these two, though, it is hard to tell. Marin, because he entered the race so late, is kind of limited in fundraising. And there also, I think, is a consensus that he might be the more Trump-friendly candidate, so you might want to face him. But at the same time, Rydell can maybe deal with some potential not enthusiastic Trump voters, although I imagine they'd fall in line for him. So I think you'd rather face Marin, but it's a little hard to tell. It's a little unpredictable. Once again, Marjawowski was the front runner until maybe a week or two ago when he dropped out. So this race has been thrown into a lot of chaos.
So why did Majewski drop out?
I don't actually know. He's dropped out like twice.
So we're getting some more results from the 13th, where Coughlin is looking very good here. It's about 66 to 26.
Yeah, he continues to hold a pretty large advantage there. I'm sure he's quite favored at this point.
More votes are coming in Illinois 12 slowly, but Boost is expanding a little bit of a lead here. And in the 17th, we have yet to get results here either. The 7th and 17th have yet to report any information. The 7th is basically downtown Chicago. So yeah, we are waiting for District 7 in Illinois and 17 in Illinois to fully come in. This is a very tight race here. How many votes did the Ohio 12 special election a few years ago come down to? Was it like 500 something votes?
Which election?
Balderson special back in 18. I know it was very close.
It was very close. He won by under 2,000 votes.
All right, I was wrong. I thought it was like about 500, but
No, it was surprisingly close.
and Moreno is expanding his lead. He's winning all of the Columbus suburb counties except for the city of Columbus itself.
He's also doing pretty well in these rural counties, it looks like. I think LaRose actually might be taking votes from him because a lot of these southern counties, I think, would be Moreno otherwise.
So LaRose was actually originally the front runner, and then Dolan took the lead, and then Moreno suddenly came in and
Actually, it was more kind of like it was more LaRose, Moreno than Dolan.
then Moreno
I would
again.
say, yeah, LaRose was originally the front runner because he had a name recognition advantage being elected statewide, but he struggled to raise money. It is worth noting that both Moreno and Dolan are personally very rich, and LaRose is not. And he just never found an ideological lane. Dolan is the moderate, Moreno is the kind of extreme Trump candidate, and LaRose kind of tried to play both sides, and that just doesn't really work in Republican primaries these days. He also was the face of the very disastrous attempt to ban abortion, which ended in a big time failure for Ohio Republicans last year, and the face of their attempt to make the ballot measure require 60% of the vote, which also failed. So that was not a great.
Yeah, we were alive for that election back in 22. I believe it was 20.
It was last. It was last August, Andy.
It was last August.
Life moves fast.
I think we were live that election though.
Well, you were. I don't think I was on call.
I'm pretty sure LaRose entered the race before that disaster.
He did. That was kind of part of his public race persona. That was part of his attempt to appeal to the Trump base because he'd gotten a lot of backlash for kind of saying for maintaining the legitimacy of the 2020 election. Congratulated President Biden when he won, which obviously had a lot of Trump supporters very upset with him. And then, Trump came in and endorsed Moreno, who actually ran back in 2022. Trump convinced him to get out of the race to help J.D. Vance, I think. So Moreno dropped out a couple months before voting took place. But he ran again in this one, got Trump's endorsement, and, took the lead in the polls for most of the early part of the year. But then there was a scandal involving Bernie Moreno, who was a former used car salesman, and an app gay hookup app he might have had an account on back in the late 2000s. He says it's a rogue aid. A lot of people don't buy that story, but we'll find out. And that scandal in a lot of late polls put Dolan in the lead. Dolan is a moderate state senator. He's very rich. He also ran back in 2022. He came in third place. But I kind of figured that a lot of undecideds here would break for Moreno, even with the scandal, because of the Trump endorsement. And Trump campaigned for him on Saturday.
And this is Brown, the Democrats' preferred candidate as well.
Yeah, Brown has consistently held a bigger lead over Moreno and LaRose than he has over Dolan.
I think he's neck and neck with Dolan in polling.
Dolan has actually led some polls of Brown recently. So yes, all of them will have a good chance of winning, but certainly Moreno and LaRose will have. And I mean, we don't have to talk about LaRose because he's clearly not going to win this primary. But compared to Dolan, Moreno would certainly have trouble winning crossover voters.
And Sheriff Brown's approval is very high here in Ohio. It's in the 60s, I believe. So he's pretty popular. So Larry Kidd has taken the lead in the second place spot in Ohio's 2nd district. Look at his map. This is incredible.
It's quite a fun time. Looks like Taylor has started to break into a bit more of a consistent lead, though.
Yeah.
Although there's still enough votes to be out that I guess anything could happen.
All right, we got some more update in the Ohio 12 This is the six. I'm in. Allow six. This is to replace what is the congressman's
Bill
name?
Johnson.
Bill Johnson, and right now he's up. Ruley, the moderate candidate, the so-called moderate candidate, he's at 48%. He gained votes.
Yeah, he gained a little bit in the recent update.
Rick Sy, who is this guy? He's getting 10%.
I don't know who that is.
Oh, we got results from Illinois 7 now. Danny Davis. Oh boy. Conyers, Irvin, and Keenan Collins looks like they're splitting votes here.
Oh yeah, he's only got 55%, but
yeesh.
Conyers even raised a lot of money. She raised more money than either Davis or Collins. This has got to be a disappointing start for Collins, though. He came very close in 2022.
Well, there's a split vote here. Like with both of them, like with one of them out, the other one would have a great chance. But it looks, I predicted, it looked like Danny Davis will hold on because of the vote splitting here.
Still a lot to come, but a couple other primaries. Troy Garcia is up about 40 points over Raymond Lopez, who I think is a state alderman who ran for mayor last year. I don't really know what the deal with that primary challenge is, but up big. And then Bill Foster up big over his progressive primary challenge, although only under 1% in there, so take that with a grain of salt.
Moreno's lead is expanding here.
Yeah, I think we're starting to get early day votes in. Now, I will say this about election day votes. They might not favor Moreno as much as some people expect because of Dolan kind of surging as late as he did. He didn't really lead in any polls until the last week of the campaign. At the same time, Moreno, there was a Trump push over the weekend, so I do expect him to benefit.
If you're Mitch McConnell, you really would want to have Dolan. If you're Sherrod Brown, you really want Moreno. So this is very, very, very close, and this might be consequential. This might be the Senate on the line here. Technically, the Senate might be on the line here.
Broken off. I've broken off.
We got more votes here in the second. It looks like that David Taylor's lead has shrunk just a slight bit here. Wait, can you guys hear me? Right. All right, can you guys hear me? All right, yeah. My audio is fine, so it's just Dante's connection, I think. All right, so right now we are. All right, Ohio 9. We got more results in the second. Look at this beautiful map. We got David Taylor ahead. He's certainly going to be the nominee in this ruby red district here. To replace Bill Johnson, look at this. Reggie Stoltzfus has gotten more votes. It's going to come down to the wire here. And look at this. Keena Collins has taken second place here in the Democratic primary in Illinois too. And Dante's back. So Keena Collins is taking the lead in the second place here in Illinois too. So
well, he's she's still a ways to go. Yeah, but I mean, obviously there's vote splitting because this is not a very impressive performance for Danny Davis. He's only got 54% of the vote.
Yeah, this is disaster for progressives who wanted to get rid of him. And we got some votes in Illinois 12. Let's go over to them. It is Darren Bailey is taking the county, Marion County, but Booth still has a very big lead over him right here. And Illinois 17, we have yet to give any results there as well. So nothing from the 17th, but we do have results from the 7th and the 12th. And the incumbents are winning by a
Illinois 4, Troy Garcia leads 71-29. I didn't write about this race because I didn't really know how significant it actually was, and yeah, looks like Bill Foster.
Here's the Ohio Senate race, and here's Ohio Senate race, and Moreno is taking a 3-point lead. I don't know where Dolan would. I don't know where Dolan will. If
is there room for a quick California update here?
All right.
In California 16, there was just a new vote drop. This is the race to replace Anna Enshu. It's a deep blue district. Sam Liccardo has already kind of sealed his spot as the first place candidate, but in the race for second race, new drop came in. State Senator Evan Lowe just took the lead over Joe Simonton by 2 votes, and we're almost finished counting.
Wow.
This is as close as it's right now. Evan Lowe's got 30,211 to Simonton's 30,209. Could come down to a single family deciding not to vote in that election.
All right. We do have another special election in California today.
Yeah.
To replace Kevin McCarthy for the remaining of this term.
It's a little weird because we already had the primary for the November election to that seat. We'll see if the results end up being the same. In a rare twist, it is possible if a candidate gets over 50% here for them to immediately be seated, which is a little different from how it usually would work in California elections. But yeah, I don't expect anyone to get over 50% based off the results of the primary from a couple weeks ago, but turnout can be weird in elections, so you never know. General election there will be in May. This is the primary.
All right, so we got more votes here in the second. And look at this. Hood and Wilkin are going back and forth for 4th place. O'Hara and Kidd are going back and forth for 2nd. And Taylor has a very big lead for 1st right now. Again, a lot of his vote is coming in from Claremont County, which is a suburb of Cincinnati. We have not gotten any updates from the 9th, nothing from the 13th. From the 6th, Stoltfuss has gained about 500 votes. Nothing in Illinois 7, nothing more in Illinois 12, and nothing more in the 17th.
Well, Decision Desk HQ, and they can sometimes be a little hasty, so maybe hold off on a little bit, but they have just called this for Bernie Moreno.
Yeah, it's only 23% in. I don't understand that.
Oh, midnight polls coming from Marist, North Carolina and Georgia. I only note that because they were very good in 2022.
And what's the results from it?
It'll be released at midnight Eastern.
Oh. Why are they going to release them so late?
For fun. But yeah, Marist was one of the better pollsters in 2022. So I don't think they've released anything yet. So I'm interested to see what the results end up being. Well, Moreno is continuing to gain votes, and based on what's left, I get why you wouldn't call it right now, but I also have trouble seeing him losing.
Yeah. And Ohio second.
And actually, as the E-Day votes start to come in, look, he's eating away at the LaRose votes in the southeast of Ohio. Some of these counties have flipped to Moreno. Oh, NYT just called it.
And there it is. Bernie Moreno has been projected to be the Senate nominee, defeating Matt Dolan and Franklin LaRose, saying he'll face Sherrod Brown in the general election. Democrats got the risk. They got Bernie Moreno.
They spent money.
All right, so this is very interesting right here. David Taylor.
They just say we have a guest joining. Third analysis.
We got a guest. All right.
East Coast perspective.
All right. And it's look at this. Ohio 9, we got more updates coming in, and it's Ruli's vote lead is shrinking. It's not only a 4.3% lead when it should be over. When
Moreno
this is going to be coming down the wire here.
Moreno could end up actually winning by quite a bit when it's all said and done.
Do we have the actual special primary results on New York Times?
Yeah, just scroll all the way down.
All right.
Go into the main page and scroll down. I mean, it's basically the same. But if you go onto the main page, you'll see it has special. It's like the second to last races they list. Oh yeah, it's getting tighter.
I don't see it.
Are you on the main page for Ohio?
Oh. I was there. I doubt.
Yeah.
All right.
I've just been looking at that once I noticed they were tracking each other closely.
All right, here it is. Republican special. And really, it's 45.9 to 43 in the special. And the regular is 46.2 to 43.2. So it's the same vote total.
I mean, it's 46-43 basically. Either way you slice it.
Yeah. Cy is getting like 100 more votes, so don't know who he's taking it. I think he took it from. Yeah.
Rick Sy has more votes in the special. I don't know. Again, I don't know who that is.
Yeah. And we have our guest from the East Coast, Thomas. Good evening, Thomas. And Thomas has disconnected. And good evening, Thomas. How's it going?
Hey, how you doing today?
All right. So you are East Coast. So why is Republican primaries in general in the East Coast? What is your perspective of that from the East Coast for, say, people in like the background of Texas and in the state of California?
I think it's very important to us, living in the nation's capital. We want to see, we get to see how the government works, and so we see the candidates that are voted for in these primaries. We see what they actually do when they get to work in Washington. So even a primary in like Ohio, pretty far away, it still matters a lot to us, not just today, but like 6 months in the future, 8 months around inauguration. Thank you.
So let's say in your thank you, Thomas, for coming in, I guess. Thank you, Thomas. And we got some more results coming in. We got more results here in the 6th district here. We got update in the special. It's now down to a 2-point race. And the special, we should begin result. And there it goes, the updated and the regular results as well. It
Well, it's close enough that
is
maybe we could get a divergent result, which would mean someone could be in Congress for a few months and someone gets in Congress for 2 years and come January.
we have yet to get something from the 13th congressional district. We haven't had an update in the 13th congressional district in a bit of Ohio. And the 9th district, it looks like Rydell is gaining votes here.
Moreno has added a few more votes to his lead.
Okay,
Again,
it's starting to get very close here in the 2nd district.
No, Taylor's lost a bit.
Hey,
It's still a three-way race. I wouldn't count Tim O'Hara out of it either. He's a bit behind the other two. Of course, no runoffs in Ohio, so whoever wins this is going to win it with as much of the vote they get.
even if it's 11%.
Well, at this rate, we're tracking for it to be under 30%.
Moreno's lead is about to be 42-36.
Yeah, he's been adding to his lead.
Yeah, he's been chopping up that Frank Rouleau's vote.
I think he actually just flipped another county. Yeah, Washington.
All right, so let's go to Danny Davis. Right, check out on Danny Davis. It's still looking very good for him. The election vote split is, even with the vote split,
it's 44% in.
Yeah, even with the vote split, I don't think it's enough for them to win because it's 39.7 to 52.8.
We'll see about him falling under 50%. He has dropped a bit since the first count. I will say that. But you could maybe even call it for him already because clearly.
Oh, Darren Bailey has gotten closed the gap a little bit. He's now behind 61 to 38.
Maybe if this had been a one-on-one race, I think if it had been a one-on-one race, someone might have actually had a shot at Davis. And Collins also struggled to raise money.
And now we got results finally in the 17th. We got
this looks like about
McLean
what I
is coming in.
Obviously, a lot of ways to go. Basically, everything I read about this race suggested that McGraw was the front runner by a pretty fair margin. Troy Garcia holding up quite well in his primary, and really not much in for Bill Foster's primary, but.
We got another update, and it's a 1-point race here in the Ohio 6 regular election. I think this is a regular. Yeah, this is a regular.
They've corrected. The NYT has corrected. Haley is not carrying any counties.
All right.
Corrected Shelby and Holmes, which appeared to be the issue. In general,
38%, and it's about 200 votes. Just over 200 votes here. It's very close. And the special.
Oh yeah, it just keeps getting closer.
In the special, it's 200 votes.
Yeah, I mean they're tracking super closely. I'd be surprised if we got a split result here.
Darren Bailey's adding to his vote total.
We must be getting to his geographic preferred places.
What prompted Darren Bailey to even jump into the race?
I don't remember. It's I think last summer. It's been a while. Checking in on the Kansas Democratic primary, and I regret to inform you that our boy Jason Palmer only has 1% of the vote.
Our boy Jason.
Not a great sign for his campaign. 7% for none of the names shown, which is a little weird, but it does appear to be all rural Kansas. So I don't know. I guess there are dinos in rural Kansas. This Illinois 7 race, Danny Davis, is like one of the rare races that's like bad for everyone.
We still have yet to act more update, but it's looking very. He will look. It's looking like he will survive, but it's looking very bad for him. Oh my gosh! It's 10 votes in Ohio 6. And the special, and Stoltfist has taken the lead in the special by 1 vote. All right, Dante. All right. So Stoltfist has a lead in the special by 1 vote, but in the regular it's really by 10 votes. So give or take 11 votes here, folks. It's very close. So yeah, it's 10 vote. It's a difference of 11 votes divergence here in the between the regular and the special in Ohio 6. So we got 10 vote lead for Rulli in the regular, and in the special we have a 1 vote lead for Stoltzfus. You can't make this shit up. Oh, we got votes. All right, we got a vote drop. It is Rulli just got a big boost. His lead grew from 10 votes to about 2,200 votes. Well, it was all Columbia County. That's Steubenville, I believe. I don't know where that is, but that's a huge vote game for him. It gets him very, very big gains. And in the special, he takes a very good lead there too. So the special and regular election is corresponding a bit here. So yeah, we got. All right, let's move over, and this is looking very good for Danny Davis. He is gaining his. This is very, very. This is vote splitting of it. This is. It will be about a 13-point lead back in for Davis if it was a combined vote. Here we go, Darren. It's Boost with a very decent lead here in Illinois. Bailey's getting votes up here. Boost is getting votes down here. So and finally, the 17th, which is yet to gain votes. So this is going to be close. Let's go check up on that Pretty Will's map in the 2nd district. So it is.
Whoa, what just happened in Ohio 6?
All right, so all the votes from Columbiana County came in.
Oh, wow, okay, I see. I was wondering what happened there.
Yeah, it went from a 10-vote lead to like a 2,200 vote lead.
Again, I just pulled up the Rashida Tlaib, Brenda Jones example as a past split in Michigan. I think that's the last split I can remember happening. I guess there was Georgia, the race to replace John Lewis in Georgia, but that was different. That was a different situation. That was a little weird.
Yeah, there was a special because John Lewis had already gotten nominated by the Democratic Party.
Yeah, so they had to like do a special convention to replace him, and then they did a special convention to do the special election. And Nakima Williams, who was selected to run in the general election, didn't run in the special election. Like she didn't want to be considered for that, so they chose a guy named Kwanzaa Hall, who served in Congress for like a month, but they had to do a special. Like so he didn't even. Yeah, it was weird. But this is like a situation. This is a different situation.
The guy who will win today will in the special will serve for about 6 months.
Yeah, pretty long time. Because the special's in June.
And Kevin Coughlin has been declared a winner on Ohio 13. He
will face Amelia Sykes in what should be a pretty competitive November race. Definitely, I think there's kind of tiers for the Democrats in Ohio, and it's kind of like, maybe Ohio 1 is like lean, maybe bordering unlikely. I think they can feel pretty good about Greg Landsman. That should still be a decently competitive race. We did competition on the Republican side, and then you have Ohio 13, and then Ohio 9.
Yeah.
We are still unsure of Ohio 9, although Marin has clung to a very stubborn 4-point lead. 4 or 5 point lead.
So let's look at the counting results here. So in Fulton, Marin has a 33-point lead. 30-point lead for William, Rydell, and Williams. Wood is a 14-point lead for Marin. Ottawa is an 8-point lead for Rydell. 51-point lead in Defiance for Rydell. 30-point lead in Lucas for Marin. Erie is 7-point lead for Marin. And Marin and Rydell is statistically tied in Sandusky County. With it's 8 votes. If 100% of the vote in there. David Taylor gained a ton of votes. So he's up 5,000 votes basically. So he's at 29%. Again, I think it was an air vote drop from the Cincinnati suburb of Claremont County that put him in that situation. Illinois 12 is coming in pretty quickly, and Darren Berry is continuing to gain votes. Whoop. I did not mean to. I clicked the wrong button there. Present screen. Illinois 12. Let's go. Illinois 12. Whoa. There we go. This is Illinois 12. Darren Bailey. Oh, whoa. Oh, I read that wrong. It's 22,000 votes basically between Bailey and Boost. Where they're winning,
it's a very geographic primary. I'll put it that way.
Yeah, everywhere where Boost is winning in landslide, and vice versa for Bailey. It was basically like the last 2 weeks ago, in Alabama. One between Moore and in Alabama 1, where Barry Moore won. It was very close, but he won there in a geographical area. Illinois 17 votes just came in. It is McGraw. Small counties are coming in big for McGraw right now. Yep, it's Wikipedia is officially updated. It's Ohio Senate is Sherry Brown versus Bernie Moreno, and in the Senate elections there. Ohio's our only Senate election up today. We'll get more primaries soon.
Well, Moreno is now well into a double-digit lead, and we're still not even 40% in. This is not going to be a close race, and he's likely going to end. I mean, LaRose has only one county left. He'll probably lose that too. But yeah, no, this has been a pretty dominant statement for Moreno.
So, what's the future calendar like?
Well, I think we're basically done for March, actually. And April's usually pretty uneventful, so we'll probably see you all again in May.
Well, I think we got some primaries coming up in next early
Actually,
April.
yeah, there's Pennsylvania on April 23rd. And I'll have to check. I don't think there are any. There's nothing going on. I mean, there's Arkansas and Mississippi runoffs. I don't think anything interesting went to a runoff. I'd have to check. I think a couple races in Alabama went to a runoff. I'll have to look into that. I don't know if we'll stream for that. That might not be enough to stream, but it might be something I pay attention to on April 16th. Arkansas and Mississippi have runoffs on April 2nd, but there's not really going to be anything to watch there. And April 23rd, Pennsylvania should have some interesting house races at the very least. But then we'll be in for a very busy May and June. So hang tight, everyone.
Yeah, all right. So I got our official calendar. We'll be back here a month from when next Tuesday, a month from Saturday, I think. It'll be April 23rd is when we'll stream again. I might stream on April 2nd, but it
You don't
looks
have to.
more.
There's nothing to watch.
Yeah, it's less fight. It's not gonna happen. And then we'll be live every week in May, every Tuesday in May, except for the final Tuesday, which is just runoffs. And then on June, every week in June. And then we'll have a break for July. And then August, we'll be live the 1st, 6th, 13th, and 20th. And then in the September, we'll be live for the first 2 weeks as we end the primary season. And August 10th might be another day where I stream. But it's going to be on circumstances. But that's our future of the streams. And then we'll be back here live on November 5th for the election. Yeah, Bernie Moreno is his Dolan and Moreno and Rose is the map is almost fully green for Moreno now. And Ohio second. Look at this. It's looking very good for David Taylor here. And it looks like Marin has gained a little bit here in the Republican primary for the Ohio 9. All right, so let's go back to Ohio 6. This is very much our big race today. Right now it's looking like really we'll pull this out maybe. It's like we just got our vote drop. It's Stoltzfus is gaining subtly, but a lot of vote for him is still out. Mahoney and Columbia, that's where the big vote drop came in for really a couple minutes ago. In the special, it's basically the same. It's closer in the special than in the regular right now, but
Well, I'm looking at some other Ohio districts. David Taylor, it's not over yet, but he is up with 57% in. He has a pretty comfortable lead of about 8 points, about 28-20 over Tim O'Hara to take what is basically the general election in this district.
all right, right now I think I'm comfortable with calling this for Dan. And there we go. Danny Davis just got declared the winner of his primary. I was about to declare, and New York Times did for me. Vote
Yeah, it looks like
splitting was
both he and Garcia have had their primaries called.
yeah. This very was basically decided by the vote split. Even then, I don't think it would have been enough.
Yeah, I'm interested to see what his final number ends up being, because if he does finish under 50%, I think some people will look at this as a missed opportunity. About what might have happened in a one-on-one race between him and Collins or him and Conyers Irvin. And he is only at 52%, so it's not a particularly strong performance from an incumbent. The margin looks really good because there's so many candidates running against him. But at the end of the day, as an incumbent, he's got 52% of the vote with 48% of people voting against him.
All right, in the 12, it's Boost is gaining votes here, and then in the 17th, we have yet to get anything there. I think we have a pretty good idea of who's going to win tonight. Based on what's going on. It's not over here, but it's looking very good for David Taylor. Well, all 6 is all right. It seat, but again, we're closing in. Like yet again, there's still Rulli his 2 big vote getters in Mahoney and Columbia County, which kept him afloat this long. So it's looking very good for him right now. Again, we already just had Danny Davis win his race. Mike Boost is looking very good for him right now. So I think we're done here. I think we might be done, but I'm going to keep going for now, like 5-10 minutes to see if anything else happens.
Bernie Moreno might win by 20 when this is all said and done. He's got to be winning the election day vote by near 30 points. I mean, this is ridiculous. Oh, he just took the lead in Franklin County.
Yeah, this is bad. This is Democrats paid off. Democrats spending here, Trump coming in. That was basically
there was a big time push. I'm sure the Dolan surge that polls caught on in the last week, I'm sure it was kind of real because of the scandal, but clearly was overstated. I did say yesterday I thought undecideds would break towards Moreno, and he'd end up winning despite trailing Dolan in the last couple of polls. But undecideds, hey, looking at where we're still waiting on results. I mean, they haven't called it in Ohio, too. I'd be surprised. Taylor's led pretty consistently. Still enough time for Ohio 6 and Ohio 9 to get a little weird. They've called it in 13. So, yeah. In Illinois, I mean, we've seen how that's going, basically.
Danny Davis just gained in the latest vote job. Mike Boost is running about 61%, so I'm comfortable with that being him winning there.
Yeah, I mean, I'd have to see what's come in there, but obviously that's a good start for him.
It's basically regional here. Like where Bailey's winning, he's winning by a lot. Where Boost is winning, he's winning by a lot. Like Clinton County is the closest here, but the rest he's winning by basically a solid numbers in the areas where he's doing well.
I don't get how, as a major party in a big time Senate race, your nominee is a car salesman.
I mean, we've seen crazier things. Like we see more a woman who is crazy and who didn't even have the president who she was very aligned with endorse her, and she's still being an incumbent. Yeah, I'm speaking about Warren Buffett, but that's how freaking the Republican Party is like very dumb at this point. Like you got like your best bet was technically Dolan, and yet he's getting blown out.
Well, it looks like there. I think there is. I think there is some Bailey County to come in. I will say that. I think there is some more, but he has a big like deficit to crawl back from here. I'm not sure he's going to have enough.
Yeah, where Boost is winning, it's look at this Pulaski 486 to 14. It's not a lot of vote, but Johnson, Williamson, he's doing like again even without the small votes.
Well,
70,
don't
80,
look now.
22,
It's starting to tighten again in Ohio 6.
Yeah, I saw it coming. Again, it is very
keeps going back and forth.
Again, a lot of this his Stoltzfus's vote is coming in first. I mean, I accidentally let me just put this back up right quick. And I think, really might pull this one out in the special, but yet again, we still have a ton of vote to go through here. And Marino is this could be a 20-point win for Marino.
Well, he's going to get well over 50%. I mean, holy goodness. I don't want to rag on the polls too much because they did have him up by quite a bit, and there were a lot of undecideds until late. But yeah, I mean, the Dolan surge. I guess it was a surge from 20%.
Yeah, this is a disaster for mainstream Republicans. But again,
all right, well, I'm gonna call it a night.
Yeah, this is the night, folks. We basically got our outcomes early, so we don't have to stay here. We'll be back next month, April 23rd. We got Pennsylvania, I believe, is what we got next. So we got very interesting house races there. So we're ending the stream a little bit early, but it's been a good stream. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll be back April 23rd.
Peace.